Greetings from Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. I'm grateful for this opportunity to say a few words about surveillance and the new technologies on the occasion of my award from the American Sociological Association Communication and Information Technologies section. Surveillance is everywhere today. You walk under a camera in the street, you swipe a card at the bank machine, you drive with a navigation system, you produce your machine-readable passport at the border, you make a cell phone call, you surf the net, you quote your health card number, show your loyalty card at the supermarket, or you simply live on a street with a zip code or a postal code, and the personal information is recorded, stored, retrieved, compared, mined, traded, and generally processed in ways that you probably cannot imagine. But what does this mean? Should we be paranoid or indifferent? My particular interest in the social aspects of new technologies centers on the surveillance capacities and consequences of communication and information technologies. Even more specifically, I've committed myself to trying to understand the ways that surveillance today is now overwhelmingly about social sorting. Surveillance today is best understood as some focused, routine, and systematic attention to personal details for the purposes of entitlement, control, management, protection, and so on. But because today surveillance involves not labor-intensive methods of observation or record keeping, but of computers, searchable databases, algorithms, and codes, the key task is to sort one group from another so that they may be treated differently. Especially since 9/11, we've become more aware of the effort to place everyone in categories of risk threat level as we travel. All sorts of details determine if we end up on a no-fly list. Equally, employers have recourse to pre-employment screening methods to check our suitability for the job before we get an interview. Marketers are keen to measure our lifetime value so that we can be classified for levels and speed of service. Insurance companies want to know our likelihood of contracting some disease. Law enforcement bodies will want to work out our propensity for crime. And the postcode or zip code? Well, they slot us into our socioeconomic niche. None of this could happen without CITs that enable such sorting and classifying to take place. In a world of rationalized processes, bureaucratic principles, and computer power, none of this is surprising. And it often contributes to efficiency, convenience, and speed. No wonder surveillance has expanded so rapidly and with so little resistance. Yet issues do arise. The new technologies permit forms of remote control hardly dreamed of 30 years ago. And you notice the tense has also shifted from past to future. Surveillance is now about attempting to predict and to preempt, Auguste Comte would be proud of them, and to simulate events and conditions in ways that implicate all of us as members of various groups. So, for example, the idea that I am innocent until proven guilty is compromised by my being placed in categories of suspicion. And the reassuring notion that if I have nothing to hide, I have nothing to fear, is completely falsified when my name is on a list about which I know nothing. The fact that surveillance today is highly technological also means that it is relatively opaque to the non-technical like me and perhaps like you. This is why it is so important to foster research in the field of surveillance studies. It doesn't assume that the new technologies are somehow sinister or evil, but it never assumes that they are neutral either. But it does explore the social, political, and economic shaping of the new technologies and their profound social consequences, particularly on groups that are already marginalized or disadvantaged. Thank you very much.